guys, it's Jouelzy, and I know one, the camera quality looks crazy because my handy dandy T3i just went out. I took the 70D back to the store because I'm gonna buy it from B&H. Save all that tax money. But in the meantime, in between time, the day before I leave for Thailand, the camera that I've had for 5 years now just doesn't want to turn on no more. I only got the first 4 episodes for like early access, and I emailed HBO and they didn't get back to me about the rest of the season, and they already have people that they're commissioning to do reviews on the Insecure website. You know, I'm just a small fish in a big pond, and that's just what it is. I guess everyone wants to hear about what I thought about this episode, basically because, like, I hope y'all not trying to let y'all homophobia hang out too quickly here. So this past week's episode, Molly is still annoying as fuck. I did have several friends hit me up after my review last week and tell me that I was lying and that I definitely have friends like Molly. Girl, they's right. I told a lie. I had a friend in college, but we weren't really friends. We were acquaintances because I was friends with somebody else. And she got me called the bad news bear by this white boy who's the president of the NAACP. Even now, she's a very good career, and she's still... And then I think as an adult, I do have a friend who is similar to Molly, and we've been friends for a long time, but it's gotten to the point where she does not talk to me about what's going on in her relationship life anymore. I guess I have to say she's my friend, but she don't be talking to me about her dating life. She low-key be lying to me, even though low-key or maybe high-key, she's like swimming in the pond of all my homeboys, and they all come tell me. So I'd be like, oh, okay. And I just act like I don't know when I'm talking to her. Like I'm totally unaware and clueless, because I think it did get to a point where she was like telling me about these guys, and she would do that stuff, like show up to a guy's house or like expect guys to come help her, like just do all this extra shit. You just be looking at her like, girl, huh? And I think I did the girl huh face too many times, and so she just realized it didn't work out. But anywho, let's get into this episode. So Issa ain't shit neither. I don't know, if I was Issa's friend, what would my advice be to her? I probably would have a very similar reaction that Molly had when she told her that she slept with Daniel. I would just be like, oh, are you gonna do it again? Like, did you enjoy it? How do you feel? Oh, you regret it? Okay, I support you in however you move forward in this. If I was her friend, I would not tell her to tell Lawrence. I wouldn't tell her not to tell him, but I would totally understand if she opted not to. And it's dirty and it's wrong and yada yada yada, but come on, male or female, we all know that we have friends who have made a similar misstep and we've had their back on it. In the series, you're pretty much introduced to both characters on equal footing, so you don't have a predetermined attachment to either one. You have a lot more sympathy, but you know, if it was a one and done, I could totally be that homegirl that's like, you know, just keep it to yourself and keep moving. I would like to have a timeline. Like, is this show within like, have we like gone through a full week here? Has it been like a month or something? Like, how quickly are things moving? I think with the Jared situation, she just saw Jadena's beige character. She was just in bed with him like 24 hours ago, right? Like the morning before, she was waking up in bed with the beige man and inviting him to the engagement party that night. And now she is hooking up with Jared. There was too much sex in this episode. I know it's HBO. I know, you know, there's okay. People be bumping pelvic bones. They be doing the grown up. I get it. It was just a lot of ass. It was a lot of like, okay, I don't really need to see this much. Like I'm not titillated. I'm not turned on. I found it a little. Could I have gotten the point without this visual? Maybe. I still don't even understand why she showed up to Jared's house. I don't understand why she cut off. Is Jadena's character named Chris or something? The beige ass Negro. I don't know why she cut him off so quickly. Like, I'm not clear on what Molly actually wants. And for Jared to be willing to take her back, to willing to put up with her, after she straight played him, like she curved him hard. I don't even know. It wasn't like they had a real relationship. At this point, they're just fucking, I guess. But I don't ever really enter this conversation with people with telling them like the ratchet shit I did. That's a bad conversation. I know that. I don't, that when people start to, oh, tell me something you wouldn't tell nobody else, I'd be like, for why? For what? Aside from asking me when's the last time I got tested and do I have any STDs, I mean, I really don't feel like there's a whole lot else about my personal intimate life that I need to be disclosing. And I know people do it, but that conversation it always goes left. Because somebody always ends up saying more than the other person, and it only ever stops once you've reached a level of uncomfortableness where somebody has done something that you're kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. Molly admits to having hooked up or kissed or whatever a girl, exploring her sexuality with the woman, and immediately realizing that she wasn't interested. Jared admits to playing around with the homeboy and being on the receiving end of oral sex from another guy. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't really, like, who cares? Okay. I'd be more bothered by a Negro trying to stick their ding dong up my booty hole more than a dude that's gotten, like, a mouth is a mouth. As far as a man exploring his sexuality, I'm actually like, if you did it and you are positive that that's not what you like, I feel way more comfortable with you now. I feel comfortable with the fact that you can acknowledge that to me and it not be super dramatic. My best friend played basketball at Villanova. He's 6'8" and a bottom. After hearing the way that men have approached him, heterosexual performing men have approached him, a lot of specifically black men who are heterosexual that have accosted gay men and expected that they could get this guy to perform whatever they wanted him to perform for them in a very aggressive manner. Black women and gay men have a very symbiotic relationship, and I've been meaning to do a video on this, but girl, the comment sections, I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to like have to monitor it like that. A lot of people's concern is it's basically a kind of the Christian principle in it, right? That a lot of us grew up in households where we were told that homosexuality is a sin. A lot of us still believe that homosexuality is a sin. And when you start having conversations like this, the first thing that people get defensive about is you trying to change their theological beliefs. Even if they're okay with you living your life however you want to live it, they don't like you trying to change how their spirituality, essentially, because it is a very personal thing. But then it also morphs into a lot of people feeling like if men are allowed to explore their sexuality, they're more likely to turn gay. I don't understand that. I don't get why women can do things just for the heck of it, do things out of curiosity, and nobody is concerned that they are going to turn lesbian. There's almost, actually in the black community, kind of this pervasive thought that most lesbians will come around and end up with men. We kind of box men in very quickly and very narrowly as to what they are allowed to do before we start defining them for themselves. You know, I don't believe in anybody's right to define me, so why would I define somebody else? Like, for Molly to be so judgmental, she just had sex with 2 men within 24 hours. That's called a yeast infection and vaginosis at the same damn time. That's called your pH balance in your vagina is all the way fucked up. It's secreting something that doesn't smell good, and you need to go see your gynecologist. That's what that means. But you worried about him doing something how many years ago? I mean, Jared could have just kept it to himself. Really. Please be respectful in the comments down below, but I would love to hear your thoughts. The rest of the episode was just like tits and ass, and I was like, oh, okay. And it'll be interesting to see how Lawrence responds to meeting Daniel. And how hot is Daniel going to make it for Issa? This will probably be my last review of Insecure because I'm going to be in Thailand for the next 2 weekends, and I don't have access to the show. Maybe you'll see me, maybe you won't. All right. Let me know, were there any Drake lyrics in this episode? Comment down below. Deuces.